this
Dungeon
one,
Doom
I was
Hands,
talking
Let's Talk
with
Lore, a podcast.
Michaela, I think on Instagram. Yeah, it was Michaela on Instagram, and I told her just to, you and I talk about everything Dungeons and Dragons on this Let's Talk Lore, and have been for a while. And it's funny because sometimes I come upstairs and I'm like, all right, what are we gonna do? And I don't really know exactly what the topic is, but so far I feel like a lot of it has to do with bringing the real world, like how do you world build and role play and create characters and so on and so forth, and bring some of the essence of the real world into it. Now you don't want to you don't want to have a direct World War II like Germans,
right?
American, but you take the small details that they've given us here in this. There's the attention to detail in these boxes is insane.
Mm-hmm.
And you take some of that language in there, and you have yourself a character.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I feel like let's build these characters, and then let's build this tavern. Or we can do it the opposite way, whichever way. You got the D20, natural D20.
I'd say let's build the characters, and the characters will inform the tavern.
Nice.
But I don't know. I'm bouncing back and forth. I'd say let's go with my intuition.
Yes. Well, okay. So first things first. Before we get into the lore of the tavern,
yes,
let's build the characters.
Yes.
Now they were mine. Oh, sorry. So Kat rolled me some stat blocks from.
Yes.
And those of you who are just joining us, we got our Jumpin' Jacks Tavern boxes with a bunch of items in them. Look at the previous episode, or you can look at this live feed. Earlier, we went through and discussed everything that it comes with. It's awesome. I highly recommend it. The creators, I was able to get them to roll us some stats for their characters. I told them to roll 6 rolls, 4d6, drop the lowest one, and give me some stats. So Cats and
Michaela,
I told them that they could have a little
personal.
They can have a personal touch and not just be a sorcerer, but they can choose the race. So that's their touch, and they gave me a Harengon.
Mm-hmm.
Harengon sorcerer. Chris, what'd they give you?
A Portal Rogue with some really nice rolls. I would be very happy with this set of ability scores.
Mine's pretty good. So I got a strength of 7, a dex of 10, a con of 14.
I got a lot of +2s. I got a lot of 14s up.
Yeah.
14 and a 15.
Oh, they even gave me the modifiers. Wow, they're good. Intelligence, a 9. Charisma, a 14. Hey, he's more charismatic than you think. And wisdom, well, he or she, whoever we choose.
Yes.
And wisdom's a 10. So my guy, based on these stats, not strong, sort of dexterous. He's got this will of constitution. He's not very intelligent. He's mediocre wise, but damn it, he is charismatic. So this hare, this rabbit being is going to be stubborn, but yet very charismatic. That's how I think.
Okay. This Portal Rogue. I mean, there's like when I look at the stats, it reminds me of like a turtle, a tortoise, bringing that real world into our game. It feels like stout, not too strong, but very dexterous, very wise, very sturdy. I mean, and who doesn't love a tortoise or a turtle?
It's true.
Everyone loves them and falls in love with them.
It's true.
I mean, this it feels like it's gonna be really the feel of that turtle, the feel of the turtle, the swamp, that earthiness of the tea, of it's not a phase.
Yeah. What's the thing that says on your
It's not a phase, Mom. But
mine?
very introspective. And as we were brainstorming ideas of how these characters could be connected to the world or this tavern, I always thought this turtle would be like a turtle rogue. You're a shopkeeper. I'm like, you're the front for some business or some illicit activity, and that works out perfectly. It's like you need the herbs, the medicines that you can't always get in places. So not necessarily like a thief rogue, but like a Harriet Tubman kind of rogue.
You want to hear what I just looked up I'm trying to figure out how in my mind, how am I going to give this hair a voice in our world? And I looked up, they wrote here on their candle a bunch of words, and we were just talking about them: powerful, ambitious, pretentious, sensitive, and then it says former gifted child syndrome. And I have no idea what that is, so I looked it up for us. And it says, a term used to describe the long-term effects of academic pressure on gifted children, such as burnout or imposter syndrome and unhealthy work habits. That's perfect for my hair. He's tired. Listen, the turtle and the hair. He's tired of running around.
It's cleaning up everything.
Quick, but not too quick. He's not strong. Can't carry everything, but he's quick, and he's like, he just does it sort of a little bit of a bang the dishes, get them done.
Here's a question for you: How clean does your sorcerer need this shop to be?
That is a good question. I would say if he's suffering from, if he's burnt out, like, has he been searching for where his powers come from? So he is burnt out from looking, so he's sort of just given up, and upon that give up, stumbled upon this beautiful tavern, which we'll create in a moment, and
Do you think he can like leave an old cup pushed along the baseboard in the corner?
No.
For a day?
No.
No. Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. I think my turtle rogue could.
You want to have just, well, that's the thing. So
yeah,
that's
so
gonna
I think
cool.
like turtle's like not necessarily taking care of everything, and the hair has to run around doing everything else.
Just because he's charismatic doesn't mean he's nice charismatic.
Oh, it's mean charismatic?
Yeah, it's intimidating. He could be persuasive. Why don't you clean that up? You know, he's a burnout.
Very manipulative.
He doesn't want to do it himself. Why don't you clean that up?
Okay.
You know, turtle, clean up yourself.
I can see how you can really have fun with incorporating that as a stopping point for a party. Come in and you get to throw some choice words that you've been wanting to say as a DM to these characters.
That's so funny.
Like, listen here, you little.
Yeah. Did you want to break open the book and give these guys a little of like wants and needs, or do you want to forego because we usually do a game master's thing, but again,
yeah, I think
you're the 20.
Well, I'll say with the 20, I get the first choice. Next is up to you. You get this choice.
Okay.
Go back and forth. What are you wanting?
Shoot. Well, I just wanted to.
I'd say let's do it without the book.
Without the book, but do you remember what
Yeah.
they were?
What the
Wants
categories are?
Yeah, wants and needs.
Oh, I got it right here.
Oh yeah, here I got it.
Where is
I
it?
don't know. I'm so silly. It's right here.
There we go.
Because she didn't have to get up. I got it right here. Talking about a stubborn hair burnout. A brief description.
Okay.
Brief description.
Well, let's create a brief description. It doesn't have to be super brief. So
of your
Spencer, yeah, like a typical day for your well, before we get description, do I want to do a name?
Yeah, let's do names.
Okay. Roll for names or
I think
make up our own.
We could make up our own.
Okay.
Cat Jackson Tavern. Nice to meet you. Let's just roll for the names. Make it easier.
Okay.
I'm going to be on Outskirts Outpost. I'm rolling a d20 for my first name. Here we go. It's a 12, which is Chiaki. Chiaki. And I'll just go ahead and roll the last name as well. And that is a 14. Chiaki Rosiera.
Chiaki Rosera, the Harengon sorcerer.
Chiaki Rosera. This might be a PC that I'm making right now.
Ooh.
Well,
Interesting.
When I take over my DM reins from you, they're all PCs.
Oh.
What's your guy's name?
So, 6.
Or girl.
Gaius. And the last name. Do next page. Oh shoot! I hopped. Gaius. Jenkinholm.
Jenkinholm.
Jenkinholm. Gaius Jenkinholm.
Gaius Jenkinholm and Chiaki Rosera are the stewards of this tavern.
Ooh, I like that title.
Okay. Now, a
So
brief,
that's a brief description of.
very, very brief. He's old. He's burnt out. He's got gray fur, straggly. He doesn't keep his tavern is cleaner than he looks.
Okay. Good.
All right.
Old, wrinkly, stout, with like little bits of what got caught on a shell as he was walking through the shop. Little piece of fabric here that he can't quite reach with his walking stick that he has. But is it just a walking stick?
Yeah. Did Chiaki put that on him or not take it off him because they had an argument about cleaning the dishes? Wants and needs.
Wants and needs.
You go first.
For Gaius Jenkinholm, the Turtle Rogue. Probably an everyday want and need is to watch. What's your Harengon's name?
Chiaki?
Chiaki. Is to watch Chiaki run around the entire shop all the time. Takes great joy in watching Chiaki run around. But they need to complete their collection of rare herbs of some sort.
Teas. Rare herbs for teas.
Yeah. Or yeah.
Herbs.
Searching after some long lost
They're collectors.
lens of teeth. Yeah,
They're collectors.
collectors.
Do they use
I
them?
like
They
that.
Yeah, collectors. Okay.
Yeah.
So the tavern is a tavern. In the back is their collection of variety of, or that's your characters.
Yeah.
My guy's wants and needs are going to be, he's spent his whole life trying to figure out where his source of power is coming from. All the sorcerers have one.
Mm-hmm.
Never found it and got lost. And this is his backstory I'm making up. And he was lost, whether that means like physically lost or mentally lost, but probably both. And this tavern just appeared and he walked inside of it. And ever since then, that need of trying to figure out where his power comes from is not as important as his wanting to know where the power of the tavern is coming from. And to bring it full circle, he needs to know where the powers come from, where power comes from, like magic. Specifically.
Interesting. Okay.
Or I guess in the tavern, I guess. He's interested.
So-
His needs are to dissect where people's powers come from. But keep in mind, he's not very smart, so he doesn't do a very good job at it. And he has his own beliefs, and is very stubborn about it.
So, this is something I was thinking about of what are these two characters' connection to each other, and this is something I like to do as a PC if going into a game trying to have some connection to one of the other characters. What are their connections? So if Gaius is a tea collector, maybe he's trying to help Chiaki.
Chiaki.
Chiaki channel their magic or calm down and not be so chaotic or burned out, or trying to help ease them with the medicinal arts.
Maybe they don't quite understand the tavern, and we'll get that in the
Yeah.
tavern in a minute, the lore.
Yeah.
But there's something about this tavern because you're inside of it. It's just like a normal tavern, but when you leave, it might be somewhere else. You might
Yep.
have just been there for a
Ooh.
while, or not time wise, but
No one really. Oh, I don't want to jump ahead.
yeah.
I got a story about this tavern.
But maybe maybe their relationship, to go back to what you were saying, is
Yeah.
the tortoise is like, this tavern is magical, just relax, enjoy the show. And Chiaki is like, it takes a lot to run this type of magic. It takes a lot.
So there has to be a source for it.
Yeah. And is it these herbs? I don't know. Is it,
I say let's leave those questions for
Yes.
the tavern.
Yeah.
But I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What is that name? I'm never going to be able to remember
Chiaki.
that name. Chiaki. What's your last name?
Chiaki Rosera.
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 Rosie.
Rose.
You're Rose.
The turtle calls him Rose. He's the
Yeah.
only one.
What is your secret or obstacle?
Something funny though. These are always good. My secret is maybe I should feel like I should pick one here.
Well, you can roll for it.
Let's go to a random page here in the non-player characters game master.
There we go.
Yeah, that's the baby. I talked to him, told him I liked his stuff.
Nice.
Why don't you roll me? You got D20. Roll me a D20. So this guy he's sort of like the workhorse of the tavern, although he thinks. So he manipulates other people into doing the work. Clean up that thing.
Right. A 3.
secret and or obstacle. And is leaking. And that's doesn't go. Let's flip to the. And will tell gruesome and violent horror stories any chance they get. That fits perfectly with him.
That, yes. Well, I had something in my head, and that just was like horribly perfect. I was gonna say has a secret collection of, like little voodoo dolls.
I was just about to say voodoo dolls. Yeah. Yes. That's funny.
Like from hearing all of the stories from Rosie, is slowly started collecting all of these dolls that have some power to them that Gaius doesn't quite understand. Just thinks that they're cute.
The dolls relate back to maybe one of our characters' dolls we just picked up.
Ooh.
Not that he would
Right,
directly
right.
relates, but he'd be able to identify things.
Right. It might have been one of a collection.
I like the idea of
The original artist bringing some of the artistry from the box into the game, the real world, into our game.
I like the idea of the tortoise being like, "Hey, man, Chiaki, calm the f down, okay? Like, just relax. Give it easy, let it easy. We're in a magical tavern. It's great. There are herbs.
Everything
there's
replenishes
drinks.
itself.
Yeah, it replenishes itself in the morning. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe it cleans it, or maybe the tortoise thinks it does, but it's really Chiaki. And we're gonna get back to the tavern in a second. The tavern's gonna be hilarious. And he's like, you know what? You're right. And he goes over to the patron and starts telling him about like a horror story of a gruesome death. And the tortoise is just like, what is this guy?
All right, so
Yeah,
I think we should roll for
what's your secret?
what my secret has the secret collection of
Voodoo dolls.
dolls. What are they carrying? I think we should roll for this.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay in outskirts and outposts.
Yeah. Go to the last page.
I'm gonna go to the first page. Ooh, a 3. A device that can detect ghosts. And a book of horror tales.
That's funny. All right, I'm gonna roll. What is it? So my guy Chiaki, you're carrying some silver, some gold, a tuning fork, and a lute, and a crumpled sheet of music.
So you're trying to learn to play a flute.
Maybe it's part of his backstory. I have to create
Oh.
a lute. Yeah, maybe he's trying to calm down.
Can't quite play.
Oh no! Listen,
Like he
taverns
used
have
to.
to have music. Maybe
Yeah.
it's his. He knows a song that he plays. You know, that's sick.
the one song.
Yeah. So
I like that.
let's go full circle back to the box.
Right.
Chiaki Rosaria. He is the Haragon sorcerer who is going to be a steward of this tavern. Same thing with Gaius. What was his last name? Jenkinholm,
Jenkinholm.
the tortoise.
Portal. Yeah.
Tortle. And their development was brought to us by these awesome boxes and what's inside by
The-
Jumpin' Jack's Tavern. Yes. Go online, look at their stuff. JumpinJacksTavern.com, I believe, is what their
Website is. Yes.
If you want to
Jump
buy,
in with no
if
G.
yeah, if you wanna buy a nerd something awesome for the holidays or just in general, maybe he's a nice guy. Nice girl, nice whatever. These things are right there, and good job again. I said that
Nice.
before, and I'll say it again. And so I think that does it for the NPCs, right? So are you ready to
Yeah.
build this little world building lore
I-
in our world?
I think we've built a lot of this tavern already.
I know. I can't wait to talk about it. It's gonna be hilarious.
So,
hold on
no
one
one
second.
really-
One second.
Okay,
Right before we jump into the tavern, roll high and subscribe.